What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, what shorts did, as well as what Lucid needs to do to hit a home run Q1 earnings right around the corner. So I'm going to go over all that, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So Lucid did go up 5.88% today. So pretty epic stuff. And that was largely because of PMI. So PMI was kind of the culprit that caused the broader market to go up as high as it did. And of course, it kind of signaled that the economy is growing, it's expanding, but at the same time, it kind of opened the door for possible rate cuts. So that's kind of what exactly the market wants to hear. So that's what caused it to go up. Prior to PMI coming out, you did have a new 52-week and all-time low being created at $2.29. So if you are one of those individuals that was able to catch anywhere close to that, give yourself a shout out in the comments. But a lot of money, big money in fact, was looking at Lucid. So 24.7 million shares being traded today, 24.9 is the average. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. A couple of big ones, like I said, so 1.16, 4.47, 1.67 million. Even on the dark pool, very active. Dark pool, often enough linked to shorting. So I'll talk about that in a second. And today there was no news from Lucid itself, no SEC filings, nothing like that. It did go up 1.19% after hours, and that was linked to Tesla. So Tesla came out with their earnings, and you can kind of see it went up 13.33%. And so this kind of is where I'm going to be talking on how Lucid could hit a home run earnings right around the corner, similar to kind of what Tesla did. So with Tesla, they actually did miss on a lot of their key metrics. And that's been something I've been saying for Lucid for like a good year and a half, almost 2 years, that the market will forgive any of their key metrics as a miss. So lower revenue, lower earnings per share, everything. Like the market will completely forgive that. What it does punish is excessive dilution, but clearly it values innovation. And so when it comes down to Tesla, it was up roughly about 5-6%, hovering around that after hours. And then they said that they're going to be pursuing a lower priced vehicle. And as soon as they said that, it just popped even higher. So clearly the market exactly wanted to hear that, as well as their robots. I think Optimus is coming out next year, or at least kind of starting production, but regardless, clearly the market really wanted to hear that. So when it comes down to Lucid, I feel like they've done a very crappy job on their earnings. Every single earnings, the bar is set so low for Lucid, and they still somehow find a way to mess it up. And that's largely due to Peter. I know some people are very big fans of Peter, so I'm not dissing him or anything like that. Just he comes off as a salesman, and clearly he doesn't give what the market wants. So the market right now clearly values lower priced vehicles. And what does Lucid do? They say that they don't want to pursue that, as well as ESS. So I feel like right now, like I said, the bar is set so low that investors just want them to mutter gravity. Just tell us that gravity is coming out. So again, imagine they come out and say, hey, you know what? We're actually going to be pursuing a lower price vehicle mid-2025, as well as we're going to be pursuing ESS. And if they were ever to say that, the stock price would just easily probably 2x just based on that in among itself. Because like I think the initial estimates were just ESS, $23 billion by 2030. And that was before Saudi Arabia had the necessary infrastructure. Well, since then, they've developed it like night and day. So in reality, like Lucid has turned their back on almost everything innovative. And I know it might be premature for me to talk on, but imagine the gravity is done. And let's just say, for instance, not spreading any FUD, let's say it is a flop. Then what? What are we supposed to do? Wait until tail end of 2026 for the mid-size SUV like that? Like Lucid definitely is not really innovating enough to what the market does want. And clearly you can even see based on Tesla, which normally in the past, like people finite look at every single metric of Tesla from their revenue and everything and criticize it. But this time around, they forgave all of that and valued what is necessary for the future. So Lucid, in order for them to hit a good home run earnings, they need to come out and give exactly what shareholders and the market wants. Lower priced vehicles, ESS, or unless they're coming up with something else, maybe flying aircrafts or robots or something else. I have no idea. Logically, flying planes or aircrafts or something like that is logical because even the PIF has invested quite a lot of money in Lilium. So logically, it would make sense. Like, why not just have Lucid do it? But beside the point, though, this is where Lucid has a very good opportunity, even more so than Tesla, because Lucid is very, very heavily shorted. So imagine they come out with all this good news. This could cause a short squeeze, but it is all on Peter's shoulders. He needs to hit a home run. And yeah, it's very, very unfortunate to see that Lucid initially boasted their technology being next level stuff, and since then, like, yeah, they've lowered prices, they've come out with different variations of the product, such as, or was it rear wheel drive for the Pure, or sorry, all wheel. But still, other than that, like, that's not any crazy surprise. Like, why aren't you kind of rotated to UK? Like, at least configure it to the right-hand wheel or steering wheel or whatever it is. So I think just Lucid does need to get up with the times and catch up to what investors truly want to hear. And I think us as retail investors are partially to blame as well, because this is the type of questions that we're posing for these earnings. I don't know who, it's just very, very disappointing. And like I've said, whatever questions are posed on the very first day are typically the ones that do get asked. So maybe Lucid itself is just looking at the top questions right here and figuring this is exactly what Lucid, or like Lucid shareholders want. So maybe we're partially to blame as well, but Lucid does have a lot of good opportunity because Tesla, at least there are certain standards that investors are caring about, whereas Lucid, like, I think just Wall Street wants to see that they are alive. That's basically it. That, like, if Lucid is live, then yes, the market will kind of see that as a success, if that makes sense. So I think it's just Lucid does have a lot of good opportunity, just it comes down to innovation. And shorts right now have been taking advantage of that lack of innovation. So today they did increase 1.83 million shares, 32.55% of the free float is being shorted, 288.27 million shares overall are being shorted, and just cost of borrow average is 46.52%. You do see some signs of manipulation though. So cost of borrow minimum, it's been a while since I've seen that with Lucid, and it is negative, so negative 1.04%. So there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Lucid. So that in among itself is very messed up. So I don't know. Someone really has a vendetta against Lucid. Like I've said, it just, that in reality is a very clear indication that someone wants to take Lucid down. Whether it be Elon or someone else, I'm not really sure. But just the fact that the broader market was rallying like crazy, but shorts felt it justified to double down. And obviously, thus, there's now a new 52-week and all-time high short interest. So very messed up stuff. Looking at options, $367,000 in calls, 1.95 million in puts. But very surprising that 79% of all the options being done today were optimistic and bullish. So this is why I like to analyze all the information. So clearly this information with shorts is somewhat bearish because they don't believe today's rally was justified, whereas looking at options, very much positive stuff. And of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be above 250. So probably by the time it was purchased, it wasn't near that price. But big money buying as well is also very bullish. Technicals are looking fairly good as well. So with it at $2.52, it is between this S2 and this S1. So it was able to claw its way back from, I guess, the cliff. And so it was able to fight back, so getting above this 243. So that's going to be a support level that you'll want to watch for it to hold tomorrow. And then vice versa, 264 will be the next strong target. And in my opinion, might be premature to talk on, but I think that Lucid could easily get above that and trade between this S1 and the pivot tomorrow, largely to thank for, or I guess from Tesla. And on the actual chart, if it does continue this momentum, then it will be transitioning into the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band tomorrow. You do see a nice bullish deviation, so white line above the red, and plus it is at 24, so that's still considered somewhat oversold. So still, if there's a good piece of news that does come out, then Lucid could really go up as a result. A number of retail investors were slightly getting in today. So all in all, hopefully you enjoyed my Lucid rant, but still it is very much 100% accurate that the bar is so low that Lucid could hit a home run earnings just by saying, you know what, we are going to be pursuing the lower price vehicle. Like, I feel like just that, I would probably prefer ESS because I think there might be more profits immediately from that and more fatter margins, but what do I know? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧. So take advantage of this for some free shares. You might as well. And plus, Moomoo has a lot of good information under its brokerage. So definitely take advantage of that. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.